twists, turns, horror. The Assaultgate is going to be something that's going to be the albatross around Arvind Kejriwal's neck, but also the INDI that continues backing him. I welcome on our show Member of Parliament, Senior Advocate in the Supreme Court, Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani. Mr. Jethmalani, today an extremely serious matter is going to be raised here, where we're going to read out from the FIR. The FIR that goes into great details to say that Swati Maliwal says, I have been slapped 7 to 8 times. I screamed. I felt shocked. I screamed. However, I was pounced on, brutally dragged. Deliberately, my shirt was pulled up. My shirt buttons opened. The shirt flew up. I landed. I hit my head on the center table. I was constantly screaming for help. They did not relent. Bibhav Kumar kicked me on my chest, stomach, pelvis area with his legs. You're a member of parliament. A sitting woman member of parliament speaks about this attack. The Aadmi party comes out on Twitter and says, look at the such of Swati Maliwal. They've attacked her. They've criticized her. Kejriwal is somewhere happily beaming and campaigning in Mumbai. What action needs to be taken when crimes against women occur and the INDI opposition continues to be silent on it?
Well, it just shows the attitude of all the parties concerned. It shows the character of the people and the hypocrisy of the women MPs of the INDI alliance. This is now one of their close allies in the CM's residence with a brutal assault on a Rajya Sabha member. Where are all those women MPs who wax eloquent about Manipur, etc.? Where are they? I condemn the rapes that took place in Manipur. Do you condemn this incident and say that the Chief Minister needs to answer this? Do you all have the courage to say that? Or is your political prospects at the polls more important than Nari Shakti and the dignity of women?
Mr. Jethmalani, I also wanted to ask you, over the last few days, we've seen a lot of footage that's going around. We've seen Bibhav Kumar has also been seen with Arvind Kejriwal after the incident. Sanjay Singh has confirmed that the assault happened. That's an Aam Aadmi Party leader. And yet, Bibhav Kumar is seen in the same frame as Arvind Kejriwal. What message does this send out?
Well, the message it doesn't send a message. There's an inference to be drawn from this close association pre and post the incident. And that inference is irresistible. The inference is that Mr. Kejriwal either connived at, instigated it, or has no sensitivity at all post the incident, right? So either he needs to be arrested immediately, unless he comes out with a statement. He needs to be arrested because it's a serious offense. There are offenses ranging from 5 to 7 years. And this is assaulting a woman, right? This is assaulting a woman who complained that she was in pain and she was in further pain because of her menstrual cycle. And still the assault continued.
Yes, Mr. Jethmalani, she is slapped. The India Alliance is silent. When asked questions, they talk about here and there in BJP states. But this is not a political issue. We want to remind Arvind Kejriwal, he's ruling the Delhi. Delhi is not his fiefdom. This is the place where Nirbhaya happened, after which strict law and crime against women have to be punished. The woman goes today and records a 164 at Tisazari court. She's limping out of court. She's visibly traumatized. And the Aam Aadmi Party yet comes out on Twitter and says we're going to give out the such of Swati Maliwal.
Well, that's the worst. That's the worst part of it. You are adding insult to injury. You are now victim shaming the victim. You are attributing motives to her. You are almost justifying the assault. But that's the character of the people in this party and the allies. Please look at the silence of everybody concerned in the India alliance. Not one person has got up to say anything. Not one person has condemned it. There's a character assassination going out against the complainant, right? There is. And there's an attempt to justify the assault. And some people say this is a family matter. No, it's not a family matter. This is a political matter because it happened in the Chief Minister's residence. And you can't keep the politics out of it.
Mr. Jethmalani, you are one of the country's leading top criminal lawyers. You understand the law more than anyone here. You've spoken about character assassination. What are the next steps that can be taken? Who can move the court here? And what action can be taken not only against Bibhav, but also his political masters who continue shielding him? Apparently, he's in Punjab, enjoying himself as everyone is trying to reach him. The NCW is trying to issue a notice and summon him as well.
Well, I mean, I suppose the immediate step is that this is a serious offense. This is not just because it's a crime against women, but it's also a member of parliament, a Rajya Sabha member of parliament, right? And it happened in the chief minister's residence by the chief minister's personal secretary. This cries out for action. If this kind of thing, if politicians set this example, then I'm afraid there's no hope for women in this country. And women MPs of all parties, right, with this kind of evidence, right, should, most other cases, there's not this strong evidence. Here, everything about the circumstances of this incident cry out for a universal condemnation and for a cry for justice that please, let's get to the bottom of this. Why did this happen? And at whose behest?
Absolutely. Mr. Jethmalani, I wanted to ask you, this is not conjecture, but something needs to be asked here. She says she wanted a meeting with the Chief Minister. She went to his residence. She was seated there. We don't know if Arvind Kejriwal is in the frame, but can someone like Bibhav, who's his personal assistant, react without any instigation from Arvind Kejriwal himself?
I mean, it seems difficult, to believe that. At this stage for Mr. Kejriwal, right, to distance himself looks extremely suspicious, if not unbelievable, because it's happened in his residence. He was present at that time. And she had come for a meeting with him. And after all this has happened, there's been a conspicuous silence for a few. The details have come out in the FIR, which is a public document and in the public domain now. What are you saying now?
We've all seen the video.
This FIR was lodged last night.
Yes. Mr. Jethmalani, we've all seen the video
this
where
Arvind Kejriwal
appears cagey. He appears edgy. He's sitting next to Akhilesh Yadav. He's asked questions on there. He immediately points the mic towards towards Akhilesh. And yet, they start saying, no, look at crimes in these other states. It's barbaric what's happened. It's happened with a woman sitting MP. And yet, this kind of defiance, this kind of bravado, false bravado, this brazenness, and this atrocious horror that's happened seems to be something that INDI will also have to answer, because the INDI is also continuing to support him.
Yes, I mean, as I said, within the silence of everybody, the INDI alliances are completely deafening. It's just incomprehensible. How can you be so hypocritical? You wax eloquent on certain occasions, but here's a dastardly case where a woman is physically assaulted by a PS in the residence when she's got a menstrual cycle, and she's kicked on the abdomen. What is this incentive? What is the level of insensitivity? Why don't you ask all the NCP, the Shiv Sena, the DMK, the TMC, all the women MPs? I mean, the TMC, says we are so proud that we've got the most amount. We put the highest number of women contestants. But to what use? You don't do anything for women when it really matters.
And she's come out with a tweet. I wouldn't even call, Mr. Jethmalani, the tweet that Swati Maliwal, Member of Parliament, has come out with cryptic. She says the political people at the behest of whom this happened have to see the truth will come out in the CCTV footage. The Delhi police has, as we are speaking, reached the house of the Chief Minister's residence, Arvind Kejriwal's residence. The FSIL team is also with them. They are going to see the CCTV footage. And what also we've seen in this particular footage that's come out, the palatial house in the drawing room where she's sitting, all the CCTVs that are present in Kejriwal's house, the residence, will also have to be monitored and examined very thoroughly.
sorry. You're absolutely silent.
Yes. Mr. Jethmalani, I'm going to ask you another last question. As you can see the visuals on the screen of the FSIL team and the Delhi police that has reached Arvind Kejriwal's residence. This is something, Mr. Jethmalani, they'll be finding very difficult to get out of or maneuver out of, because not only is this a member of parliament, not only is this atrocious to have been done, but this is a woman who's asking for justice. This is someone who's been brutally beaten up, barbarically hurt, punched, despite her several calls. She makes a call to the police. Despite her calls for help, they continue beating her up. This is Aadmi Party, and they come out with a tweet saying the such is going to come out. But how are they going to explain what she said in her FIR and what she said in her 164 at the 30,000 court today?
I don't see any room for any explanation after this. I think the facts, the statement, the circumstances all speak for themselves, Rhythm. It is a crying shame that this incident should happen. And what is even worse is the reaction of all the people who claim to be, and you should be speaking out at this stage.